unique challenges with this underfloor stuff. I have some foundation issues. Looks like some people have put some supports under there with these wood 4x4 blocks. So I have to figure out if it's on anything solid or if I need to put any footings in there, concrete footings, and then do those concrete pillar things and jack it up a little bit, let it set, and then set it down on the pillars. That's one idea I had. You could tell it kind of bows down, and you can see it up there on the door where it kind of sinks down a little bit. And I think it's because, well, it's the supports, of course, and then there's this jimmy rigged section here where the toilet was, and the sink, and this is 2x4, and it should be either the 2x10 there or 2x6s. The 2x4 is not going to hold up over time. It's gonna bow under the weight. So I'm gonna have to replace all these planks, and while I'm at it, I'll do the foundation footing thing, and then also while I'm at that, I'm gonna replace all the piping for the sewer drain. So you have the drain there for the toilet. It hooks into the main line. This part goes to goes for the ventilation, and there's a little inlet for a sink drain. So it just connects in there with the main line, and this goes all the way to the other side of the house. So I bought a bunch of PVC 3-inch pipe. This is the same width as this, and I'm just going to do it all myself. I'm just making sure that it's on an incline, so it's I don't know what the specific incline that is. I'll have to look that up, but it's supposed to be a certain amount of inches per foot. I can't remember off the top of my head what that is. And so I'll just have to make sure that's got that angle all the way to the drain onto the house, and that'll be this part. So, and then I have all the pipe parts for the toilet and all the stuff. So I'll figure out where to go from there. In the future, I am debating whether or not I'm going to do a tile floor and a tile bathroom. That's what I've always wanted. I'll have to assess the situation after I get everything supported to make sure I feel good about that decision, because if this is going to sink in like that, and if there's no strong footings down there, then it's going to settle again, and then all the tile will start breaking and stuff like that, and that's what I don't want to do. So I'm kind of debating whether or not I'm going to do that, or if I can just get a nice shower, walk-in shower that's just cheaper. Just use one of these toilets and that's fine. But we'll see if we get that far, and it looks like somebody already did the PEX piping, which is what I would have done already. I'm glad they did that for me, so I don't have to do it. And this is throughout all the house too, so it's all ready for hooking up. So we'll see how this goes. Well, as I've been working here, I see that this tub is one of those cast iron tubs that I've heard about. They're really, really heavy and really thick. So I'm gonna have a beast of a time getting that out. But I could see that that's probably the reason why this is sagging so much, and there's not enough support for that to hold that up. So I feel a little encouraged to, once I get this supported, that I'll be able to do a tile bathroom, and I'll be able to put as much support under there that I feel is necessary, and then I'll feel good about that. So the cabinet up there wasn't a very purposeful cabinet. It wasn't very convenient, and if you put anything up there, you wouldn't be able to get it out without getting a stool out. So I didn't see a point in that cabinet and putting, filling up that space. This house already is cramped enough, so any little places that I could conserve space and utilize that space is going to be a benefit. Even coming around to the back of this, I even thought that this little nook right here is going to be a waste of space, because all of that's in there is the water heater and the electrical panel there. And if I could even like block that off and put a door there so that there's extra space to do something with, and I could put food or kind of like a little pantry or something. But just having this, just having the water heater and the electrical thing be the use of that space, I feel like that's a waste of space right there. So there's nothing better than after a demolition to get some inspiration of what to do with the space. I'm just going to point out the supports that they've had before on this, before I replace them. And see, I don't know if those are sitting on dirt or just hard dirt or old concrete. I haven't figured that out, but that doesn't look, it just looks like it's on stilts. And this is where the tub was. And that was a 400-pound tub or more. That thing was heavy, and I don't see any supports under that. I guess just these little 4x4 pieces of wood. So no wonder this floor is sagging like that. So I'm gonna have to replace all that flooring, put some more 2x6s or 2x10s or whatever across this way, and however however many you can do. And I say they either used brick, that might have been a part of the old foundation, or they used stacks of wood like that. So I was kind of discouraged for a while because I was going to use I was going to try to use those concrete pillar forms and create a foundation that are a more solid pillars, but that's going to be pretty expensive, and it's going to use some adjustment later because it's going to probably settle a little bit. I need to have some ability to adjust, and that's what those stacks of wood does, but that's what they do. But it just doesn't look solid. It looks very tipsy, so if the house shifts a little bit, it's gonna tumble over. So I saw online those telephone poles that are pressure treated. They're about 8 to 10 inch thick, and they're maybe about 8 feet long, so I can cut them down to size whatever I want, and since they're treated, I don't have to worry about them rotting, and they're really fat and thick, so it gives me a lot of confidence more than that. And those were just free on Craigslist, and so I felt like I can do that for free and have a lot of confidence in that. So that was a real blessing to find that. I'm gonna feel a lot better about this. So I wasn't looking forward to doing any of this, but this is gonna be essential to get this house at least functioning, so I could at least have one sink and a toilet, and then I could start in on my tiling. My tiling I wasn't really going to do. I was thinking about it, but I was gonna decide not to because it was gonna be too expensive. But I went to the Habitat for Humanity just to see what they had, and I was gonna fork over at least $200 or $300 to get some tiling, just because I really love tile and I want to do it. I've never done it before, but doing a bunch of research, and so I felt like if a 400-pound tub was on there for decades, and tiling is going to be a lot lighter than that, guaranteed. So I feel a lot better about that. And then when I went to Habitat for Humanity, I found some tile, but not what I expected. I was actually picking out tile there, and then there was a guy rolled up with his trailer full of tile that he didn't want, and he was giving that to the Habitat for Humanity, but they didn't want to take it all because it was just too much. And so I just went over there and I said, "Hey, you getting rid of this?" And he said, "Yeah." So I just got as much as I wanted. It was pretty awesome. That was one of those obvious miracles that just pops right up, because I was like seconds away from buying that other tile. But I got a lot of it for free. I got about 6 boxes of this. I got a couple boxes of this for just a accent line or whatever. And then I got some of this, a few boxes of that, and that'll match up with the paint that my mom did here. Now this part of the pipe is going to be interesting because I have to somehow get back there, and I don't know if it's going to be too long to get out of this crawl space, because it's not very much space down here. Well, I probably don't need to record this. I'm just gonna basically cut in the middle or somewhere as far as I can, and then see if I can bring this pipe out. But it's gonna be worth it though, having that PVC pipe here run all the way through, and I'm not gonna have this rusty sewage pipe anymore. So you can see these support beams right here. that other people have put down here, and this doesn't give me too much confidence in this. This is just a 2x6, I think, across there. This is looks like a 4x6 or something, and then it doesn't look like it's treated because it's starting to rot down there, even though they put a little concrete block down there. Usually if people do construction on the road for the city or something, they'll actually give you those old telephone poles, because my dad has done that before. So, and those things will last forever because they're you know, buried in the soil and all kinds of wet and freezing and everything. So and they're big and round and thick, and I thought that would be the best. I could put a concrete slab or a metal slab on the ground, set it down there, and replace stuff like this.